Hi, my name is Kendra Bartlett. I'm so happy to be with you today. I just want to share a little bit with you about the importance of community and what that looks like today with COVID. I know times have changed drastically, and I don't see them changing in the foreseeable future, at least back to normal. So my childhood growing up was a blast. I lived on a cul-de-sac with a ton of friends, and it was a blast. My parents were friends with their parents. We would ride our bikes all the time. And one of my favorite games was Cops and Robbers. We would set up town. So we would have all of our dress-up clothes in one location and have a store. We would have a little restaurant where we would pick kumquats from our neighbor's tree and mash them up into juice, and we would make kumquat pie. And so sometimes we would go visit the restaurant. We would even have a wedding where my sister would usually be the one to marry one of the boys, and she would also run out on him on the wedding. Maybe there were too much soap operas in our lives growing up. I have no idea. But obviously the sanctity of marriage was not talked about as children walking around on the streets, but it was a blast. I loved it. Fast forward, here I am, a new parent. We have our first child. We moved to a new community, and I'm lost. I'm alone. And so I reach out to moms groups here and there, and I get to know some friends at church, and it's great. They have, children as well. And so we grow in friendship. But they were the kind of friendships that, with some of them, I couldn't have them over unless I cleaned my house. And I think that also related to my heart. I couldn't fully open up to them with what was going on in life, with being a parent, with our marriage, struggles with family, that sort of thing. So I had community, but I didn't have community, if that makes any sense. So God, in His goodness and His abundance, has blessed us so much and answered my prayers because I was able to stop and let Him work. And now I get to walk out my front door and watch my kids live a childhood that I loved, that I lived as well. They go up and down the street, playing with their friends, in and out of each other's houses, and it's beautiful. It's so carefree. I love it. Well, then entered COVID. So much changed. We had to be separated, and my kids would kick balls across the street because that's about all that they could do. But this community that we have here on our street was my survival, to be honest, because we're created for community, aren't we? I mean, look at the Trinity, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. They're in community. Adam, when he was alone, God said it's not good for man to be alone, so He created Eve for community. Look at Jesus and His disciples. He didn't come here and try to save the world by Himself. No, He invited people in. He had His disciples that He let into the deepest part of His heart. They journeyed together intentionally alongside one another through good and bad, laughter and deep emotional pain. They were vulnerable. That's God's desire for us. He gives us this incredible community, and we cannot let ourselves be siloed from it anymore. What does the world say? That we need to section off, that we need to keep our horse blinders on, and we need to just go, 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 instead of stopping and saying, oh my goodness, there are wonderful people around me. Yes, we may not believe the same thing. Yes, we may not vote the same way, but there are wonderful people around me that I can speak into their lives and they can speak into mine. So my challenge to you is to not be siloed by your fear. Whether it be fear of COVID, whether it be fear of someone really getting to know the new you, whether it be fear of someone judging you, let that go and let the Lord transform you in this time of letting go. Let them in without cleaning, literally and figuratively. Don't clean your house. Let them see it. It's a house to be lived in, right? Also be real and authentic. Don't clean your heart up to go and be a friend. Let them see who you truly are so that they can love you where you're at, and in return, you can love them where they're at as well. This is a great way for you to begin to be poured into in this time of having to be separated so that you can be fully alive and fully able to give yourself wholly to your children, and they can see you live a real, authentic life. And hopefully they will too. Thanks.